Uh, Sir, we'll be going on YouTube live right now.
Okay, so then let us now begin.
Okay, lovely.
Okay, Dr. Dash, shall I start?
Yes, sir, I'm ready. Yes, sir, I'm
Okay,
ready,
yeah,
sir. You can
sure,
start.
sure. So, good evening, everyone, and a warm welcome to this Bombay Management Association webinar, Competing with Wisdom, Niti Lessons from the Panchatantra. In today's fast-changing world, we often focus on competing harder, executing faster, more information, more pressure, more activity. It's like running in a local train. If you are a Bombayite, you will know that it's like running in a train. It's like people try and trade and keep trading in order to try and make profit on the stock exchange. All of these are similes. The real strategic edge often comes from competing wiser. So, thinking clearer and intelligently and using a better judgment, and the decisions should be grounded in enduring principles. And what other than the Panchatantra, which has been with us through times immemorial, and through its practical stories and the stories of animals and birds, it offers exactly, that timeless insight into leadership, into strategy, and it really strikes one close to the heart. In fact, just today morning, I got a WhatsApp forward that was about the mongoose and the, I hope you are not using that today, the mongoose and the Brahmin. So the Brahmin and his wife, they had a small child. The wife had gone out, Brahmin was resting. When she came in through the door, she saw the mongoose and its mouth was red with blood. Actually, it had pounced upon and eaten a snake which was about to bite the child. But without even thinking, the woman smashed the mongoose's head. And when she went inside, she discovered that the child was alive. And for perpetuity, they felt bad about it. So, it's all about, you shouldn't be taking decisions in a haste. You have to think first and then do it. So things like that are really brought out well. So, but I think this is today's speaker's domain, and so I will only say one thing, that Panchatantra is not just useful in organizational management, but it is also wonderful in your day-to-day life. It really gives life lessons. Now, I'll introduce our today's speaker. I really have a proud privilege of introducing Dr. Bharat Dash. Dr. Dash is a management trainer, he's a teacher, and he's an educator. He wears many hats. He specializes in using Panchatantra stories as a powerful medium to connect ancient wisdom with self and organizational development. He has conducted 350 plus seminars, workshops, and courses across diverse sectors. It is very impressive to know that he's a master trainer appointed by the Indian Knowledge System, IKS Division, Ministry of Education, Government of India, to train university teachers on Niti Shastra and storytelling pedagogy, and is also associated with the UGC's Malviya Mission teacher training program. Academically, you will be surprised to know that he's an IT engineer by qualification and holds a PhD in Niti Shastra and Panchatantra along with multiple postgraduate qualifications. So it's a rare blend of rigor, relevance, and real world context, I'll say. Currently, he serves as Deputy Director at the Center for Indian Knowledge Systems, Shri Shri University, Odisha, and through his initiative Katha Pratha, he works to disseminate the teachings of Panchatantra and Indian classics for better leadership and citizenship. Dr. Das, we are delighted to have you with us. May I invite you to begin your talk on competing with wisdom, Niti lessons from the Panchatantra. Over to you,
Thank
sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for that elaborate introduction. And first of all, to invite me on this forum. So when Vishnuji gave me this opportunity that we can have an interaction with the Bombay Management Association, I was thinking what kind of topic would be suitable, because this is not just academic circle, but a place where you practice management at a regular level. So. Yes, Panchatantra has been very close to my heart for a very long time now, and I was tempted actually, Vishnuji, when you were saying about that mongoose and Brahmani story. I was so tempted to have this story again, because one of my favorite story from Aparikshit Karakam of Panchatantra. Uh, just to reflect upon what point you made, and also just to tell that at what all depth we can analyze the Panchatantra. For all the other audiences, Vishnuji was able to encapsulate the gist or the theme of the story by narrating the story within, let's say, 30 seconds or 1 minute, and tell us what lies at the central piece of the story. That is, you should not take a decision in a situation or in emotion or in haste. And that is the reason why this story comes under Aparikshit Karakam of Panchatantra. And the same story, trust me, I have narrated it for half an hour. Narrated it. And then
Sure, go ahead, sir.
no,
We'll
I'll
be
do it.
delighted.
Yeah, we'll have it some other day with because we have already set the context with
Yes,
respect to the
yes.
topic, so we'll not change it. It will be competition only. So we'll go with competition. With the same story, if you can narrate it for 30 minutes and then analyze it for 1 hour, maybe even more than that. There are some nuances, the sutras, and there's so many elements which are present within the story, which makes us understand or realize what Panchatantra is, or what depth it has been written by Acharya Vishnu Sharma ji. So before I say anything with respect to what Panchatantra is, what it has gone through, what it means to India as a civilization, let's first take a story. पहले देखते हैं कि मतलब स्वाद चख लेते हैं, फिर एनालाइज करते हैं कि पकवान बनता कैसा है, या फिर क्या है वो, तो उसकी स्टोरी थोड़ी बाद में देखते हैं. So एक बार स्वाद चख लेते
Yes,
हैं.
sir. Just welcome, Rishi, sir. Welcome. We'll continue with Dr. Dash. Continue.
Okay, Rishi
Yeah,
sir.
thank you, sir.
Good
Thank you very
evening.
much. All the best to you, Bharatji. Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
sir. Thank you so much, sir. So yeah, so for the next 20 odd minutes, just enjoy the story. Forget about, I'm sure that it's Mumbai and it's a time when offices will be shutting. 5:35 की local church gate वगैरह सब कुछ होगी हमारे पास. अब बस कुछ देर के लिए भूल जाइए कि आप कहाँ हैं, और जैसे कि विष्णु जी कह रहे थे, let's go to the world of animals, birds, and understand human emotions, human sentiments through these characters. Okay. The story starts like this. Vishnuji, I hope you have not heard the story of the crows and the owls from me. Was it the crows and owls? No. No, so it's okay. So आपके लिए भी नहीं. So I don't want you to go get bored and say that ये भी सुनी हुई, ऐसा नहीं. So let's hear the story. Okay, I'll tell about the story a bit later. First, the story. So long ago, in a jungle, there was a colony of crows. Listen to the context very well. There was a colony of crows. The colony was placed on a big banyan tree, बड़ा सा बरगद का पेड़, and there were around 2,000 to 2,500 crows who were living there. They were led by a very smart, young, dynamic leader whose name was Meghavarna. Okay. Meghavarna. Meghavarna basically means somebody who has color which is similar to that of dark clouds. So black kawa, usko naam de diya, Meghavarna. So Meghavarna was a king, young, dynamic, smart king of crows, a colony of crows. Around 10 to 12 kilometers away from that place, in a very isolated and hidden type of a cave, there was a kingdom of owls, Ulu. There were around 4,000 to 4,500 owls who were living there. The owls were also led by a very strong, powerful, mighty, ferocious king whose name was Arimardana. Okay? Arimardana. Ari means adversary or enemy. Mardana means slayer or killer. So one who always used to make sure that none of his enemies stay alive. So Arimardana. Arimardana was that kind of a king who used to lead from the front in the battlefield or maybe war. So maza aata tha उसमें. Now, historically, there has been a dispute, a quarrel between the owls and the crows. वंश पुराना, बहुत पुराना झगड़ा चलते आ रहा है इनके बीच में, और इसके बारे में हम किसी दिन और बात करेंगे कि ये झगड़ा शुरू कैसे हुआ था. बट ये झगड़ा शुरू था उनके बीच में, और इस जंगल में भी और उस दौर में भी ये झगड़ा जो है चल रहा था. So once what happened, the owls were able to spot the colony of the crows. They came to know, oh, तो crows यहाँ पे रह रहे हैं. And then the message reached Arimardana, the king of owls. Arimardana said, oh yes, अब हमारे बाप दादा का बदला लेने का फिर से बदला लेने का वक्त आ गया है. जैसे हमारे पूर्वज के साथ हुआ था, हम इसका बदला लेंगे और इन कौवों को नहीं छोड़ेंगे. We'll make sure that we take revenge and we'll kill all these crows. चुन चुन के एक को मारेंगे. So the next day, a group of around 50-60 owls, very, very strong, ferocious owls, led by Arimardana himself, they came out of their cave at around 10 o'clock in the night. Dark. कौवों को दिखना बंद, उल्लू की आंखें तेज, और उनकी उड़ान जो है एकदम completely stealth mode. There was no detection which any birds could do. So they reached the spot. They reached the banyan tree where the crows were living, and they started going around it, circling it, round and round and round and round. And जितने भी कौवे बाहर दिखाई दिए पेड़ के बाहर, गलती से या फिर कुछ कर रहे हैं या फिर गार्ड कर रहे हैं, उन सबको पकड़ पकड़ के उन्होंने मार डाला और फिर वापस लौट आए अपने गुफा में. So in the morning, when the crows woke up, they found 8 to 10 crows murdered, literally killed, and their dead bodies were lying below the tree. It was a shock, and they came to know that this act has been performed by the owls. The news reached Arimardana. Arimardana thought that maybe this is one of an incident, और पता नहीं उल्लू कहाँ से आए हैं, कौन थे. But for such Meghvarna thought, but for Arimardana and team, the owls, this is just the start. Next night, again the owls came. Again they killed some 10-15 crows. And this continued for 4-5 days. After 5 days, Meghvarna understood that this is not going to stop now. We have to take certain action. This is a well-planned attack. इसका कुछ ना कुछ करना पड़ेगा. So Meghvarna calls an emergency meeting. Okay? Meghvarna calls an emergency meeting. The emergency meeting was with 5 plus 1 minister, or total 6 ministers. I generally say it 5 plus 1 because there is a reason for it. So there were 6 ministers and Meghvarna who had arrived together in a small corner of the tree where generally Meghvarna used to sit. And now a meeting had started to discuss what will be the plan of action. Meghvarna first starts the meeting by saying to everyone that we know what has gone wrong, what has happened, and the owls are definitely not going to stop. So we need to figure out a way to counter this, because this has now become a crisis, a critical situation. And if we don't do anything about it, it will be difficult for us to survive. So what should we do? What should we do in order to make sure that we would fight the owls? Then he asks all his ministers, saying that कि अभी आपके ऊपर है, आप बताओ एक एक करके, या फिर आपकी क्या राय है, क्या आप चाहते हो, क्या सही एक्शन लिया जा सकता है, and what can be done for this. Okay. Now, द फर्स्ट वन टू गेट अप. तो 6 मिनिस्टर थे, एक एक करके अभी बता रहे. अब यहाँ से ध्यान से सुनना, इट इज गोइंग टू बी इंटरेस्टिंग. The first one to get up was a minister whose name was UGV. Okay, UGV. We can forget the name, just call him Minister 1. So UGV gets up and he says, Maharaj ki jai. Maharaj, I have understood the situation very, very well. I have gone through every aspect of the situation. And what I truly believe is that we should shake hands with the enemy, with the owls. We should go for reconciliation. हाथ मिला लेते हैं उनसे, पुरानी दोस्ती, पुरानी दुश्मनी बंद करते हैं. लेट्स गो फॉर कॉम्प्रोमाइज. लेट्स हैव अ रिकंसिलिएशन विद देम. Meghvarna asks, why do you think we should go for this step? What makes you think that this is a good step? UGV says, Maharaj, शत्रु सिर्फ हमसे ज्यादा ताकतवर ही नहीं है, बट हमें उसके बारे में कोई मालूमात ही नहीं. वी हैव नो इंटेलिजेंस अबाउट द एनिमी, and the enemy is far, far superior and far more powerful than we are. And in such cases, it's always advisable that we shake hands with the enemy and avoid the war. So I think in order to save our lives, it's okay if we surrender or kind of maybe reconcile the thing, so that at least we live to see another day. Meghvarna says, fair enough. I understand what you are saying. Before we take any decision, let me hear what others have to say. So the next one to get up is Sanjeevi. First one was UGV, second one is Sanjeevi. Sanjeevi gets up and says, Maharaj ki jai. Maharaj, even I have understood the situation well. I'm taking consideration of all the circumstances. I am sorry, but I have to say that I don't agree with my friend UGV. Then Meghvarna asks, क्यों? आपकी क्या राय है? What is your opinion? So Sanjeevi says, Maharaj, in my opinion, we should go out for a direct war with them. सीधा फाइट करते हैं उनके साथ. ऐसे भी मर रहे हैं, वैसे भी मरेंगे तो मरेंगे. Let's fight it out in the open. Then Meghvarna says, well, and what makes you think this is a good decision or this is a good step to take? So Sanjeevi says, Maharaj, I agree that शत्रु हमसे बहुत ज्यादा ताकतवर है, but शत्रु अधार्मिक भी है. शत्रु से हमसे ज्यादा ताकतवर नहीं है, बट अधार्मिक भी है, इमोरल है, अनएथिकल है. और ऐसे व्यक्ति के साथ या फिर ऐसे शत्रु के साथ हाथ मिलाना इज अ वेस्ट ऑफ टाइम. हाथ उसके साथ मिलाया जाता है, रिकंसिलिएशन उसके साथ किया जाता है, अग्रीमेंट उसके साथ किया जाता है जो उस अग्रीमेंट के प्रॉमिस को ऑनर करे, बट ऐसे शत्रु के साथ नहीं जो कभी भी पलट सकता है. सो इस केस में शत्रु कोई रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन प्रोटोकॉल फॉलो नहीं कर रहा. ऐसे शत्रु के साथ क्या हाथ मिलाना, वो तो कभी भी पलट जाएगा. So I don't think it's the right idea, and hence I say let's go and fight it out. सीधे लड़ते हैं उनसे, मरेंगे तो शौर्य से मरेंगे, we will die proudly. Meghvarna says, okay, point taken, point noted. But before I take a decision, let me hear what others have to say. So the third one was Anujeevi. Anujeevi gets up and he also says, Maharaj ki jai ho. Maharaj, I have also understood the situation well, but I don't agree with both of my friends. I have a different decision or I have a different suggestion. Meghvarna asks कि तुम्हारा सजेशन क्या है, तुम क्या सोच रहे हो? So Anujeevi says, Maharaj, in my opinion, we should move away from this place. हमें यहाँ रहना अब सुरक्षित नहीं लगता. तो हमें यहाँ से कहीं चला जाना चाहिए। एंड जान बची तो लाखों पाए, वी शुड नॉट गेट अटैच्ड टू दिस dwelling place of ours, this home of ours। कहीं और घर बसा लेंगे, बट अभी निकल जाते हैं, किसी दूसरी जगह जाएंगे, घर बसाएंगे, वहां आराम से जिएंगे, और कभी लगे तो जब सब कुछ ठीक हो जाए, we'll either come back or maybe we'll even fight with the, but right now the right strategy is to move away from this place, to move. Then is detecting my hand is up, sorry, Zoom is yeah, so behaving differently। So he says, Meghona says कि आपको ऐसा क्यों लग रहा है कि हमको चले जाना चाहिए यहाँ से। Then अणुजीवी says, महाराज शत्रु हमसे बहुत ज्यादा ताकतवर है, शत्रु अधार्मिक भी है, और if we do a SWOT analysis we'll figure out that we have no idea about the weaknesses of the enemy, and without knowing the weaknesses of an enemy, entering into a fight, as my previous friend has said, is absolutely suicidal। So why we should go into a fight, and no point in going and reconciliation and going for an agreement with them। Let's move away। इतनी बड़ी जंगल है, कहीं ना कहीं कोई ना कोई अच्छी जगह मिल जाएगा रहने के लिए। So let's move on। Meghwana says, okay, point taken, point well taken, but let me hear what your friends have to say। Okay. So the next one to get up is another crow, another minister whose name is Prajeevi। Prajeevi gets up। Prajeevi says, Maharaj ki jai ho। Maharaj, I have listened to what everybody has to say, but I am sorry, I don't agree with any of my friends। Meghwana asks कि आपका क्या राय है? So he says, Maharaj, in my opinion, I think we should just stay here wherever we are and fortify this fort, fortify this home of ours। बाहर से और guards लगाते हैं, कुछ steps लेते हैं, because this is our homeland, because this is the place, this is the tree about, and this is the surrounding about which we have complete idea। We are not just comfortable here, but we have adapted to this place। Leaving this place and going to an absolutely new area, new space is dangerous, is risky। The risk is not only living in a new place, but the biggest risk lies in during the point of transition, when we are moving from this point to another point. At that point of transition, we may be attacked by other enemies, and the point of transition is very, very vulnerable। So rather than taking that risky step, let's stay here and fortify our kingdom, fortify our presence over here। In my opinion, this is the strategy that we should adopt। Meghwana says, okay, I have noted down what you have to say, Prajeevi, but let me just hear what your friend has to say। So Chiranjeevi, what do you have to say? So Chiranjeevi gets up। चिरंजीवी बोलता है, महाराज की जय हो। चिरंजीवी कहता है, महाराज मैंने भी सुना बाकी लोगों ने क्या कहा, I have listened to them, but I'm really, really sorry, I have a different take on this। Meghwana asks, what is your opinion? Says, Maharaj, in my opinion, I think we should go and take refuge, Sharan, we should take refuge under some more powerful king, ideally who is an enemy of the owls। So किसी ऐसे किंगडम में चलते हैं जो उल्लुओं का दुश्मन हो, और जो उल्लुओं से कम इक्वल ताकत का हो, या फिर ज्यादा ताकत का। कुछ दिन के लिए उनके अंडर शरण ले लेते हैं। We can use their shelter, their might to avoid the fatal attacks on us। ये हम कर सकते हैं। क्यों? मेघना आस्क, क्यों क्यों आपको ऐसे क्यों लगता है? महाराज बाकी सारी जो चीजें हैं वो व्यर्थ है। We have already been exposed, or our weaknesses are known to them, they are a threat to us। We don't have any idea about their intellect, any idea about their location, any idea about their weaknesses, or how we can attack them। हमारे हाथ बंधे हुए हैं, कोई मतलब नहीं यहाँ रह के, कोई मतलब नहीं कहीं और जाके, कहीं और नए जगह पे जाके। हाँ, किसी और सुरक्षित जगह में जा सकते हैं जो आइडियली एक दूसरा किंगडम है। सो मेघवर्णा सेज ओके, आई हैव लिसन टू यू। कितने हो गए? Anyone? How many suggestions done?
5.
5. Okay, sir. Thank you. So 5 suggestions done. Okay. One last. And then Meghwarna turns to his right. The person who is sitting on his right is a very old crow. That old crow has been the ex-minister of Meghwarna's father and had been one of the teachers, initial teachers of Meghwarna himself. And the name of this old crow is Sthirajivi. Sthirajivi. Looking at Sthirajivi, Meghwana says, Sthirajivi ji, you are like a father figure to me. And after listening to all my ministers, I am now hoping to get some inputs on this matter, some inputs on this serious matter from you. Because before listening to you, I will not be able to take any decision. So let me know, what are your thoughts on this critical situation? Sthirajivi gets up and goes down to Meghwana and tells Maharaj ki jai ho. And he says something like this, okay? He says, Maharaj, before I say anything on this matter, let me congratulate you. Okay? Let me congratulate you first. Meghwarna is, but why are you congratulating me? He has that look. He's not saying anything, but he has this. Why? Any idea why is Sthirajivi congratulating Meghwarna?
He is not reacting and listening all the suggestions very attentively.
Oh, he's listening to all the
He's
suggestions.
engaging his ministers.
Wonderful. He's engaging his minister. Beautiful. Nice. Nice. Very, very nice. Good. So see what Sthirajivi has to say. Sthirajivi says, Maharaj, let me congratulate you on this. Let me congratulate you because you have created an environment where every minister is able to freely say what his suggestions and ideas are. And not only that, I should congratulate you on having 5 different ministers giving you 5 different ideas without worrying about the response. This is an ideal situation for any king, not a situation where everybody gives you the same idea and you get biased or carried away by it. So you are lucky, Maharaj. You are blessed, and all this space that you have created for your ministers is very encouraging. Now Meghwarna smiles. Thank you, sir. Sthirajivi then says, now coming to the point, coming to the situation. Maharaj, I listened to all the 5 ministers and I must appreciate whatever they have said is theoretically bang on. Not just the suggestion, but also the justification of what they had to say. Everything is perfect. But Maharaj, the situation demands something beyond the theories. The situation is very critical and demands a certain specific type of approach. Only this approach will be able to solve the matter without causing much of a loss for us. Meghwarna asks, and what is that approach? Sthirajivi says, the approach of Dvaidi Bhavam, or the approach of duplicity. Meghwarna asks, what is duplicity? He says, we will pretend that we are taking certain type of step, but in reality, we will do something else. We'll show that we are afraid of them, but at the back, we'll prepare for the fight in a very, very clandestine manner. Only this strategy will work. Meghwarna asks, and how do you want to plan for it? What is the plan of action? Sthirajivi says, Maharaj, all of you over here, you hit me, you beat me, and you leave me over here half dead or injured, and go to a place which is relatively safer than this. The owls will come in the evening today. I will try to win over their trust. And if they take me to their place, I will figure out their location, their position, their strength, their weaknesses. And based on that, I will develop a plan of action. And then I will share that with you. And then we will have an attack on them. Meghvarna says, no, Sthirajivi, this is very, very dangerous. I cannot let you do this. It is dangerous. First of all, I cannot hit you. You are like a father figure to me. Second, to go to the enemy camp and stay with them, this is highly dangerous. I will take your idea. I will send somebody else. Sthirajivi says, no, Maharaj, not possible. I have the experience. I have the plan in my head. I can see, I can visualize what exactly needs to be done. I share it with somebody else. I don't know how much they will be able to understand it, and how will they be able to execute it. I know the thought process. I can understand body language. And anyways, I am senior. But there are very few days left in my life. So let me take this chance. Please let me take this chance. I want to execute this. Meghvarna says, okay, I have complete faith on you. That's not a problem at all. I was just concerned about you. But now that you really want to go ahead with it, so be it. So then all the 5 ministers along with Meghvarna, the king, they start beating Sthirajivi, okay? इसको मारते हैं और उसको इंजर्ड करके एकदम ऑलमोस्ट हाफ डेड करके वहीं छोड़ के बाकी सारे के सारे जो कौवे हैं वो छोड़ के पेड़ छोड़ के किसी दूसरे जगह पे जाके रहने लगते हैं. This all happened before sunset. After sunset, when Arimardana and team, the owls came again, वो ऐसे चक्कर लगा रहे हैं उस पेड़ का, चक्कर लगा रहे हैं, बट उनको कोई दिख नहीं रहा है. ना कोई कौवा दिख रहा है, ना कोई मूवमेंट दिख रहा है, कुछ नहीं दिख रहा. Nothing is happening. धीरे धीरे start entering into the tree, different branches, and they searched the entire tree, but they were not able to figure out a single crow. कोई नहीं दिख रहा. कुछ उल्लुओं को लगा कि कौवे डर के भाग गए, so they started shouting, slogans of अरिमर्दना की जय हो, महाराज की जय हो, हम जीत गए, कौवे भाग गए. Then suddenly there was a news from the bottom of the tree, जहां पे स्थिरजीवी ऐसे बेहोश पड़ा हुआ है. एक उल्लू उसको स्पॉट करता है और वो मैसेज भेजता है अरिमर्दना को कि महाराज एक कौवा अभी भी इंजर्ड है बट मरा नहीं है, यहाँ पे पड़ा हुआ है. अरिमर्दना goes there with all the other owls. Arimardana kind of, checks with Sthirajivi, and Sthirajivi very slightly he opens his eyes, and Arimardana then asks, hey, who are you? What are you doing here? और सारे कौवे कहाँ गए? Sthirajivi says, in a very, very low tone, in an injured voice, he says that, I am Sthirajivi. I used to be one of the ministers of Meghvarna, the king of crows. But the crows, but the crows, they are very, very cruel. I told them that the owls are more mightier than us. They are mightier than us. They are more powerful than us. We should surrender to them. The king of owls seems to be a very powerful leader. We cannot fight the owls. So we should surrender. But my king and the ministers, they thought that I am a mole. And they started hitting me. They tried to kill me. And they moved away to some place. I'm not able to figure out where, but I know that there might be those 5-6 options where they are staying. So they left me here to die. Arimardana, he was still trying to understand what to do with this injured crew. And he calls his ministers. Okay, they were also there in that gang. So he calls his 5 ministers. He says that thoda side mein aana, baat karni hai. तो वो पेड़ पे जाते हैं और उनकी एक इमरजेंसी छोटी सी क्विक मीटिंग होती है। अरिमर्दना उनको बोलता है कि देखो, कौवे तो दिख नहीं रहे हैं, दिस स्थिरजीवी इज द ओनली डेड ओल्ड क्रो ओवर हियर, क्या करना चाहिए इसके साथ। अब even owls have 5 ministers. Okay, their names are also interesting. Raktaksha, Deeptaksha, Kuraksha, Vakranas and Prakar Karna. ये नाम है कुछ, ठीक। नाम में हम नहीं जाते, एक नाम याद रखते हैं। सो सबसे पहला मिनिस्टर जो आगे आता है वो है रक्ताक्षा। रक्ताक्षा आके कहता है, महाराज सोचना भी नहीं कुछ और करने का, चुपचाप इस कौवे को मार डालो। ये मुझे कोई सीधा कौवा लग नहीं रहा है। He appears to be old, but I can smell something different here. सीधे सीधे इसको खत्म करो, आराम से घर जाते हैं। तो अरिमर्दन कहता है, ठीक है, लेट मी जस्ट हियर व्हाट अदर्स हैव टू से। बाकी चारों जो थे, दीप्ताक्षा, क्रूराक्षा, प्रकार कर्ण एंड वक्रनस, बाकी चारों कहते हैं, नहीं 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 महाराज, इसको नहीं मारते हैं, अभी नहीं मारते। चारों का रीजन अलग अलग था। कोई कह रहा है कि निहत्थे पे वार नहीं करना चाहिए, बूढ़ा बूढ़ा है। कोई कहता है कि इसको और तड़पाते हैं। कोई कहता है कि नहीं, इससे इंटेलिजेंस निकालते हैं, लेके चलते हैं साथ अपने, तड़पाते हैं। बट ऑल अदर फोर्सेस नहीं मारते। एक ही था रक्ताक्षा जो कह रहा है कि महाराज इसको खत्म करो, ये सही नहीं लग रहा मुझे। देन अरिमर्दना सेज, ठीक है, if all four of you are saying that we should not kill him, so let's take him with us. ऐसे भी एक कौवा है, क्या ही कर ले। And when he decides this, Raktaksha again tells him, Maharaj, this is not the right thing to do. Please, please, please listen to me. Arimada से, don't worry, छोटा कौवा है, बूढ़ा कौवा है, क्या ही करने, कभी मार देंगे उसको। तो उसके साथ लेके जाते हैं। जब वो साथ लेके जाते हैं, देन धीरे 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 उनके घर पहुंचते हैं। अब तक ऑलमोस्ट सुबह हो गई है। हरिमर्दना स्थिरजीवी से कहता है, चलो तुम हमारे साथ अंदर रहोगे आज से इस गुफा में। स्थिरजीवी, वो कौवा बोलता है, नहीं 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 महाराज, मैं तुच्छ सा कौवा हूँ, आप बड़े लोग हो, मैं आपके घर में कैसे रह सकता हूँ। मैं यहीं बाहर, इस गुफा के बाहर आपके चरणों की धूल में पड़ा रहूं, अपने रहने के लिए छोटी सी कुटिया में बना लूंगा। इतना बस, छोटा सा एक घोंसला सा बना लूंगा। मेरा अंदर रहना ठीक नहीं है। बच्चे हैं, बूढ़े हैं, लोग हैं और बाकी उल्लू हैं, वो क्या सोचेंगे मुझे देखकर, मैं पता नहीं। मैं बाहर ही ठीक हूँ, मैं सेवक की तरह बाहर रह। हरिमर्दना से, ठीक है, जैसी आमा तुम्हारी इच्छा, तुम बाहर हो। रक्ताक्षा, उसका मिनिस्टर, दोबारा हरिमर्दना को याद दिलाता है कि महाराज ये चालू लग रहा है, कितनी अच्छी अच्छी बातें करके ये अपना कुछ तो कर रहा है। महाराज प्लीज ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड, इट्स नॉट अ नॉर्मल सिचुएशन। हरिमर्दना से, डोंट वरी, तुम जाओ आराम से सो जाओ, तुम ज्यादा टायर्ड लग रहे हो। रक्ताक्षा का जाता है और अपनी फैमिली मेंबर्स को बुलाता है, और उसके जो खास टीम मेंबर्स हैं जो रक्ताक्षा को रिपोर्ट करते हैं, जो उसके आसपास रहने वाले लोग हैं, उल्लू हैं, उनको बुलाता है और कहता है, लिसन, I tried my best to convince Arimardana that this crow outside our cave is a danger, but मेरी एक भी बात उन्होंने नहीं सुनी। जब तक ये कौवा बाहर है, ये घर सुरक्षित नहीं है, मुझे ठीक नहीं लग रहा। I can see the scheme, but I am not able to convince my leader. So, being your leader, being your leader of this family, and your safety is my consideration. So, आप अगर चाहो तो मेरे साथ आ सकते हो। बाहर हम ये घर छोड़ के जा रहे हैं कुछ ही दिन के लिए। तो कहो, अरिमर्दना की, सॉरी, मेघ, रक्ताक्षा के सारे फैमिली मेंबर्स और जो उसके क्लोज उल्लू थे, वो सारे 20 उल्लू आसपास छोड़ के चले जाते हैं। जब रक्ताक्षा वहां से चले जाता है उड़ के उसके फैमिली मेंबर्स और क्लोज एसोसिएट्स के साथ, ये देखकर कौवा स्थिरजीवी बड़ा खुश होता है। बोलता है, ओह, जान में जान है, ये इकलौता था जो समझ पा रहा था चीज। अब ये नहीं है तो मैं अपना प्लान आराम से निभा सकता हूँ। क्या है प्लान? तो घोंसला जो बन रहा है, वो घोंसला बनाने के लिए जो लकड़ी चाहिए, जो घास चाहिए, वो स्पेशल किस्म के घास आ रहे हैं। सूखे सूखे घास, सूखी सूखी लकड़ियां, सूखे सूखे कॉटन, सब ऐसे सूखे सूखे चीजें लेके वो अपना बड़ा सा एक घोंसला बनाया जा रहा है, बनाया जा रहा है। जब घोंसला काफी बड़ा हो गया और स्थिरजीवी ने आसपास का सारा रेकी कर लिया, सब कुछ समझ गया, स्ट्रेंथ क्या है, वीकनेस क्या है, तो वो चुपके से जाके मेघवर्णा अपने राजा से मिलता है। मेघवर्णा उसको पूछता है, अरे इतने दिनों बाद मिले, कैसी तबीयत? तो ठीक है, आप आप वहां जी कैसे रहे हो, कुछ प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं है? तो इसके रिस्पॉन्स में स्थिरजीवी कहता है, ये सब हम बाद में बात करेंगे महाराज, पहले मेरी बात ध्यान से सुनिए। मैंने समझ लिया है दैट द ग्रेटेस्ट और द बिगेस्ट weakness of the owls is that the cave has just one entry and one exit. जिस पॉइंट से वो एंटर करते हैं उसी पॉइंट से वो एग्जिट करते हैं, दूसरा उनका कोई बाहर जाने का रास्ता नहीं है। और मैंने उसके घर के बाहर एक अपना घोंसला बना लिया है जो सारी सूखी लकड़ी और सूखे घास से बने हुए हैं, जो कभी भी आग पकड़ सकती है। तो अगर वो आग वहां जला दी जाए, ये आग अगर अंदर की तरफ फैल जाए, तो सारे के सारे उल्लू अंदर ही मर जाएंगे। तो इसके लिए हमें करना क्या है? आज से ठीक 2 दिन बाद आप सुबह 7 बजे जब सारे उल्लू अपने केव में वापस पहुंच जाएंगे, आपको पास वाले गांव में जाके इंसानों की बस्ती से छोटे छोटे चिंगारी उठाकर उड़ते हुए आना है, और मैं जहां बैठा रहूंगा वहां फेंकना है। जैसे ही आप चिंगारी फेंकोगे, मैं वहां से उड़ जाऊंगा, मेरा घोंसला आग पकड़ लेगा। आग की लपटों को देख जो इनिशियली जो उल्लू बाहर आएंगे, उनके फेदर्स में, उनके पंखों में भी आग लग जाएगी, डर के मारे, क्योंकि उनके पास दूसरा कोई जगह नहीं है जाने के लिए। इंसान हमेशा अपने घर में ही वापस भागेगा, तो उल्लू भी अपने घर में वापस जाएंगे, अपने साथ साथ आग को भी ले जाएंगे, और वो आग अंदर जाकर फैल जाएगी एक पंख से दूसरे पंख में लगकर, और वो उल्लू जल जल कर, घुट घुट कर वहीं मर जाएंगे। तो मेघवर्णा इज सो प्राउड टू हियर दिस। इस स्थिरजीवी जी, आपने जैसा कहा ऐसा ही होगा। स्थिरजीवी रिटर्न्स बैक टू द केव। 2 दिन बाद सुबह 7 बजे 100-150 कौवे उड़ते हुए आते हैं, पास वाले गांव में जाते हैं। वहां से जब चूल्हा जल रहा होता है, जलती हुई चिंगारी अपनी चोंच और अपने क्लॉज में उठाते हैं, उड़ते हुए आते हैं, और जहां स्थिरजीवी ने कहा था एग्जैक्टली उसी लोकेशन में उसको ड्रॉप करते हैं। स्थिरजीवी उड़ जाता है, उसके घोंसले में आग लग जाती है, आग अंदर की तरफ फैलने लगती है, और एक उल्लू से दूसरे उल्लू तक आग फैलती जाती है। बाहर निकलने का कोई दूसरा रास्ता नहीं, उसी के अंदर जल जल कर, घुट घुट कर सारे के सारे उल्लू खत्म हो जाते हैं। सारे कौवे मिलकर चिरंजीवी की जय जयकार करते हैं, और उनको लेकर अपने घर वापस जाते हैं, पुराने घर, वही बरगद का पेड़ जहां वो रहते थे। बाकी कौवे भी वहां आते हैं, और उन कौवों का जो घर था फिर से बस जाता है, जो बस्ती थी फिर से बस जाती है, और वो फिर आराम से वहां रहने लगते हैं। वेल, दैट इज द एंड ऑफ द स्टोरी। Okay, I hope you like the story. Now let's see the story. Entertaining, isn't it? एकदम ड्रामेटाइज्ड सब।
Yes, definitely.
ट्रस्ट मी, बुक में और अच्छी लिखी गई है। मैंने पूरी की उतनी अच्छी तरह आपको सुनाने के लिए। Let's listen to the story. Okay. And maybe I'll take Shunji, I'll just take 5 minutes to analyze the central theme of the story, to understand why we have taken the story as a as an example of managing competition. कौवे के 6 के 6 मिनिस्टर्स थे। उन्होंने जो 6 के 6 सजेशन दिए, वो 6 के 6 सजेशन फिर से देखते हैं। Reconciliation, fight, to move away to some other place, to stay put, be where you are, to take refuge under someone, or the last one, duplicity. ये 6 स्ट्रेटेजी को नीति शास्त्र में एक टर्म दिया गया है, एक फ्रेमवर्क कहते हैं इसको। इस फ्रेमवर्क का नाम है षाड्गुण्य। कभी कभी हम षड्यंत्र भी कहते हैं ना, षड्यंत्र, षाड्गुण्य। षाड्गुण्य is basically a framework to manage competition or to manage the other, the neighboring and their neighboring places, kingdoms or places. आज के डेट में भी वैलिड है, कॉर्पोरेट में भी वैलिड है। क्या है षाड्गुण्य प्रिंसिपल? सबसे पहला प्रिंसिपल, so whoever is a competitor, whoever is a enemy, इसके साथ डीलिंग खत्म नहीं कर सकते। They are a part of the ecosystem. So if they are a part of an ecosystem and there is a point of crisis, there is a point of conflict with the competitor, how to manage it? So 6 different ways in which we can manage it. 1, agreement, mutual agreement, truce. ठीक, आप हो, मैं हूं, हमको लग रहा है कि बातचीत करके मैटर सॉल्व हो सकता है। ये तेरा टेरिटरी, ये मेरा टेरिटरी, ये तेरा डिवीजन, ये मेरा डिवीजन। So agreement. इंडस वाटर ट्रीटी, agreement. नहीं, देन अटैक। नहीं लग रहा कि पॉसिबल है, देन अटैक कर लो। गो फॉर डायरेक्ट फ्रंटल अटैक, सीधा स्ट्रेट टू स्ट्रेट कंपटीशन उतारते हैं। तू अपना प्रोडक्ट उतार, मैं अपना प्रोडक्ट उतारता हूँ, तो अपनी सर्विस उतार, मैं अपना सर्विस उतारता हूँ। दोनों सेम मार्केट में सेम कस्टमर वॉलेट के लिए, शेयर के लिए फाइट करते हैं। थर्ड, when in certain cases I know that there is a strong competition coming from outside, so what I do is I fortify my own presence. मैं अपने मार्केट शेयर को होल्ड करके रखता हूँ, अपने मार्केट प्रेजेंस को, अपने ब्रांड को, अपने रेवेन्यू को होल्ड करके रखता हूँ और फोर्टिफाई करता हूँ उसको, और फीचर्स और सर्विसेज, स्ट्रॉन्ग कस्टमर रिलेशनशिप करके मैं अपने एग्जिस्टिंग कस्टमर को मेंटेन कर रहा हूँ। फोर्थ, टू मूव टू अ न्यू टेरिटरी। अब इस टेरिटरी में कुछ रहा नहीं, आंसर ऑफ मैट्रिक्स देखोगे तो ऐसे ही आएगा कुछ। इस टेरिटरी में कुछ रहा नहीं, कंपटीशन बहुत बढ़ गया है, तो इधर मैं एक नए जोग्राफिकल रीजन में जाकर एक नया प्रोडक्ट, नए जोग्राफिकल रीजन में जाकर एक्सिस्टिंग प्रोडक्ट लेके जा रहा हूँ, या फिर मैं एक नए प्रोडक्ट को लॉन्च कर रहा हूँ, नए बिजनेस को लॉन्च कर रहा हूँ, क्योंकि ये बिजनेस अभी सैचुरेट हो चुका है, या फिर ये बिजनेस का कंपटीशन बहुत बढ़ चुका है। फोर्थ और फिफ्थ, अब मेरे में बिजनेस करने की क्षमता नहीं रही, इतना कंपटीशन है, मेरे पास उतना वॉलेट नहीं है, इतना पैसा नहीं है कि मैं और इन्वेस्ट कर सकूं, कैपिटल इन्वेस्टमेंट कर सकूं। सो व्हाट आई विल डू, आई विल सेल ऑफ, रेफ्यूज, मर्ज, वोडाफोन आइडिया, मर्ज। लास्ट वन, डुप्लिसिटी। दिखाऊंगा कुछ और, करूंगा कुछ और। दिखाऊंगा कि मैं तेल के बिजनेस में हूं, बट तैयारी मैं टेलीकॉम की करूंगा। पॉसिबल, राइट? दिखाऊंगा कि मैं तेल और टेलीकॉम में हूं, बट तैयारी में रिटेल की करूंगा। Possible. दिखाऊंगा कि मैं तेल और टेलीकॉम और रिटेल में हूं, बट तैयारी में डिफेंस की करूंगा। सो ये सारी चीजें द्वैधी भाव डुप्लिसिटी में आती है।
Yes, very pertinent example and very live example. Right,
Right.
sir.
So this is द्वैधी भाव, सेंट्रल थीम, षाड्गुण्य, कंपटीशन मैनेजमेंट। और भी बहुत सारे नुआंसेस हैं इस कहानी में। 6 अलग अलग कैरेक्टर्स का अलग अलग रिस्पॉन्स देना, क्या होता है वो रक्ताक्ष का छोड़ के क्यों चला गया। अगर आप भी अपनी कंपनी में आपको फील हो रहा है कि आपका बॉस या फिर लीडर या फिर चेयरमैन सही डिसीजन नहीं ले रहा है, गलत डिसीजन ले रहा है जो हानिकारक हो सकता है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए, उस सिचुएशन में आप क्या करोगे? विल यू स्टे इन दैट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन? विल यू कीप इंसिस्टिंग योर बॉस, और विल यू लीव एंड मे बी इवन स्टार्ट योर ओन बिजनेस? क्या करो? दिस इज ऑल्सो अ मैटर और सिचुएशन विच कम्स। अटैक कैसे करना चाहिए, स्ट्रेंथ वीकनेस कैसे होना चाहिए। वन एंट्री वन एग्जिट कभी भी किसी बिजनेस में नहीं होना चाहिए। ना थ्रेट ऑफ सब्स्टिट्यूट, थ्रेट ऑफ ऑल्टरनेटिव हमेशा रहता है, वो नहीं होना चाहिए। very nicely portrayed in the story. Yes, we can dig deeper. The story is yours. I will suggest before we move to the question and answer part. एक बार ये कहानी दोबारा किसी और को आज रात को सुनाना, आपको बड़ा मजा आएगा. जब वो सुनाओगे तो आप बहुत सारे connect कर पाओगे to the things that you are already doing and maybe doing even a better way. Okay. So yes, considering the time at hand, I will stop and let's have some discussion or some questions on this.
It's really like a novel, and as much as you go deep into it, will go deep. So
Yes,
I
sir.
suggest two things. One is questions about the story itself, if anyone has, and also a general question which you can take it at any time, sir. I'll ask you. I just had that one question. See, Panchatantra has so many messages to give, especially like this decision framework which you gave about dealing with competition. There would, I'm sure, be many other frameworks. But
Yeah.
if you were to pick up, say, even one or two or three most guiding principles that Panchatantra teaches us, which have appealed to you, because you have dealt with so many stories and so many aspects of it over the years. You are like a master trainer of Panchatantra only with the Kathas. So if you could identify maybe either one good quality, like it could be dharma or it could be pragmatism. I don't know what it is, but you know,
Yes, sir.
a
Good. Yes.
few qualities or a few principles, one or two, that you can deal with later.
Yeah.
First, I
So-
think questions for the stories, or you can deal with this first. Your choice.
Okay, so it's like there are many frameworks like this. There are many interesting frameworks. But if there is one word and which I which I was never aware that it's such a powerful word. Of course, dharma is a very powerful concept. But not many of us, and before I started studying Panchatantra, even I wasn't aware that Panchatantra, I used to think that Panchatantra is a storybook. But only after reading it or analyzing the domain, I realized that Panchatantra talks about a very interesting aspect of Indian civilization, and that is Niti. It is a book on Niti Shastra. So जितना powerful धर्म है, उतनी ही ताकतवर नीति होनी चाहिए. If the right नीति is not applied at the right time, धर्म को हम execute नहीं कर पाएंगे. हालांकि धर्म अपनी मर्यादा खुद जानता है, खुद ही एस्टेब्लिश कर लेता है, but धर्म in the form of action is all through नीति. So hence नीति is very powerful. There will always, for जैसे कृष्ण की नीति कहते हैं ना, कि धर्म के लिए उन्होंने बहुत सारे हथकंडे अपनाए, जिनको वो नीति कहते हैं. धर्म अपने आप में नीति का सहारा लेकर ही टिक सकता है. That is what Panchatantra teaches. What is the right niti at that time? Yeah.
Okay, so now the floor is open to questions, sir. Rishi sir, you want to ask anything? Kajatan sir.
I mean, frankly speaking, this particular topic is such a large topic, sir. Great. The way you have told the story also, it's an art of storytelling, of course. And a lot of questions coming in my mind. But I must say that, that when you said that each of the king was, associated with the dependable ministers, it also talks about that, how are you taking decisions? So, I mean, on one hand, you said that in the King of Crows, he was a pretty, he was taking shared decisions kind of thing. Whereas the King of Owl, he listened to one of the persons, I mean, few of the person by majority, and did
Yeah.
not listen to it.
Yes.
So, what do you think could have been the other alternative for the King of Owls? If other than that, the person who left their group.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So maybe it all depends upon the maturity and understanding of the king. So maybe as per because we know the background of the story, so we can say that he must have killed the skills Stirji. And here is where the element of niti comes in. That gauge the situation well to understand. So it's not just always that majority is right. Neither always the majority is wrong. So if we say majority is always right or majority is always wrong, that is also not the right niti. The job of a leader is to understand at that moment to understand the pulse of the situation and take a decision. the most difficult task of being a leader is to take critical decisions. And for that, it's not just the inputs that we are getting from others, but also what you are able to perceive on your own, what you are able to feel through your hunch, what you are able to bring from your past experience, all put together, and then analyzing it and then taking a decision is a better thing to do. So
Maybe a follow-up question, sir, for
could
me.
be
Sorry,
very nice.
sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt.
yeah.
Maybe a follow-up question from my side. Sorry, I interrupted you.
I
That
know.
Since we have to take examples out of Panchatantra, so do you, when you conduct these sessions, have you, I mean, do you associate some live case study where it has been seen that following this strategy and whether or Niti, some corporates have implemented similar kind of strategies?
So indirectly, I've given reference of one of the corporates who are already implementing it in many ways. Idea and Vodafone ka merger was a classic case of this when Jio entered the space. Jio entering into the space, Airtel surviving because of the pocket. Airtel adopted the policy of the the third policy, stay there where you are and maintain it. Vodafone and Idea adopted the fifth policy of merging and Samashray le jana, right? There are many others who adopted the third strategy. Let's say Loop Mobile, BPL Mobile, what is that, Uninor. They adopted the strategy of leaving it. Ki, हाँ भाई, यहाँ पे कुछ बचा नहीं है. So you can see it happening in the telecom sector very well. All this 5-6 policies were, and then individually also in all the sectors it keeps happening. Geopolitically, it keeps happening. The present party at the center is known to adopt these policies, is known to study these policies. They study Arthashastra in detail, they study Niti Shastra in detail,
Right.
and they implement it at every election. You can see some of the strategies getting implemented very well.
So we have some questions in chat, if you permit
Sir.
me, or if you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
have a look.
Yeah.
One there's a comment from Subramanyam Mutha. It is about how fascinating it is in the face of AI, and we need the wisdom of our ancient texts.
Yeah.
And
True.
you are in the forefront of this. So how relevant do you think are the ancient texts? Because one really finds that when one draws only, I mean, it's difficult to interpret it in modern context, but so
Correct.
basically
So
that is the question.
If we avoid the term ancient there and just tell them or refer to them as scriptures, maybe we'll be open to see the usage or relevance on them in real world.
The modern applications.
Right. And trust me on one thing, okay? And let us understand this. The scriptures that we are referring to, okay, they were not the only books that were written during that time. Out of hundreds and thousands and millions of books, these scriptures have survived. The reason is they still contain lessons which are relevant to the time. Nature वो कोई भी चीज नहीं रखता जो इस वक्त के लिए उपयोगी नहीं है.
Right.
So if they are still there, that means their lessons are still valuable. और बहुत सारे जो नहीं थे valuable वो हट चुके हैं, वो जा चुके हैं. So that 1% of the scriptures that we had from this land are still valuable, and hence they should be used. We have to go back to the roots to understand. It's not about going back to the roots. It's like understanding why we were able to flourish, because these were the values, these were the techniques, these were the niti that we used to apply that time.
Yes, and when you talk of niti, I just had one thing in mind. There is in my school days, I have read it. It is a Sanskrit thing. Bhartruhari has written one Niti Shatak, but I have not been able to find a good copy now. But is it something similar or relevant?
Yes.
About Niti?
Yes. So there are different. Everybody have their own line of thought. All of these books put together can be a good compilation of Niti Sutra. Panchatantra stands out because it presents it in a very nicely engaging story manner. Niti Shatkam में वो नहीं है, but then Niti Shatkam, Niti Vakyamritam, then this Panchatantra, Hitopadesh, even many aspects of Kautilya's Arthashastra, Mahabharat Shanti Parva, Mahabharat Udyog Parva. These are all texts where you can find elements of Niti.
Right. Sir, with your permission, a few more minutes because there are more questions.
No problem, sir.
My friend Deepak Bonre is asking whether Niti is value system of that business house.
Well, see, Arthur Ryder, okay, I quote this often. Arthur Ryder, when he translated Panchatantra in late 19th century, he wrote something like this in his book, in the preface of the book. He said that it's a shame that the entire European Western civilization does not have a single word which can match the intensity and the density of the word Niti. So hence, Niti cannot be translated in English by using one term or one phrase. Niti can only be understood by we people कि हाँ क्या कहना चाह रहा है. Niti, when it is translated into English, it can be used for value, it can be used for morality, it can be used for policy, it can be used for strategy, it can be used for so many other things. So value system is one aspect of Niti. Value system becomes the base on which you take certain action. And that value system also needs to be revisited again and again. That is also a Niti. So with time, certain value systems should be changed. That is also a Niti. So I hope I was able to make it clear.
Yes, it's like the whole bucket or
Yeah.
bunch of strategy and response and so many things taken together.
Yes,
We have
yes.
one more question from Indranil Ghosh, and there's two more after that. One is, would you like to recommend any particular book for learning Panchatantra?
You can, if you want to read English, you can read Dr. Chandra Rajan's Panchatantra by Penguin Publication. Dr. Chandra Rajan.
Dr. Chandra Rajan, Penguin Publication.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And then we have Rupinder Bir Singh Bedi saying, these are leadership and management skills and strategies. In brief, how these Panchatantra stories came from the animal world and who initiated them.
Okay, very interesting, sir. By the way, it is Panch Tattva. Okay, so but good way of putting it as Panchatantra. So came from it didn't come from the animal world. The author used the animal world in order to share these lessons. So Acharya Vishnu Sharma ji is credited to be the person who compiled Panchatantra. I am saying the word compiled because many of the stories were existing in folklores that time. But he took the elements of the story and reconstructed it in such a way. He's a master teacher. So he reconstructed in such a way that now they were not just ordinary stories. They had the power punch of all the strategies put together. So it was Acharya Vishnu Sharma ji. And he used extensively animal characters because it has a lot of advantages as a storyteller. कौवों को इमेजिन करना आसान है, उल्लुओं को इमेजिन करना आसान है, शेर को इमेजिन करना आसान है. तो कोई पीपीटी की जरूरत नहीं है उसमें, कोई ऑडियो वीडियो की जरूरत नहीं है. आप इमेजिन करके कर सकते हो और उनके कैरेक्टर ऑलरेडी जुड़े हुए हैं. So there are many psychological aspects of it.
Yes, that's very good. I mean,
Thank you.
we can go on asking you questions, and one feels always like this will never end. But yeah, someone has just one more message. I'll take that. Deepak
Yeah,
is
Animal
saying
Farm.
we read Animal Farm in our first year. So
Yes. So Animal
is
Farm
there
is
any
again
analogy you want to draw? But Animal Farm is only about a particular incident.
correct.
Not developed into so many characters and so many messages.
Yeah.
So I think all good things must be concluded. So I'll request Jagmohan Rishi sir, will you do the honors?
Sure. Thank you very much, sir. And I must say, I mean,
So hand
although
over to our president.
yes, since I'm driving, so I'm not putting my camera on, sir. But I must say that you have literally got my full attention. It was difficult for me to drive also while you were telling me the whole story. And most importantly, I was getting so many thoughts with when you were telling the story about the corporate world and in the real life strategies. So, and you have got everybody's attention, rapt attention. Thank you very much, sir, for taking
pleasure,
out
sir.
time for BMA. And
Thank you.
on a lighter side, when you said that Niti word could not be understood by Britishers, I totally associated with that because my wife's name is Niti. So
Oh, that's such a coincidence. And you know why Panchatantra is close to my heart? Because the author's name is Vishnu Sharma. My name is Nikhil. So it always appeals to me that at least that Vishnu was much more intelligent.
Arre.
Right.
Vishnu, all Vishnus are intelligent, sir.
Yes.
Right.
So thank you very
So
much for your time. We will definitely have some similar more sessions.
yeah, and we'll like to
Maybe very
welcome you again here.
yeah.
Yes.
Sure. So
Yeah,
maybe
maybe we will try to have in a physical format also in our BMA office.
yeah. I do
Whenever
come to
time permits.
Mumbai often, so maybe February I will be there. So I'll let you know.
Okay.
Chalo,
So we'll
theek
be
hai,
in
sir.
touch, sir.
So,
Yeah.
so
Definitely.
thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much, sir.
thank
Thank
you,
you, sir.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And thank you BMA team secretariat for organizing it.
Thank you so much,
Yes.
sir. Thank you
Yes.
to everyone for joining in. Thank you. Thank you to the speaker also.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
ബ്ലോക്ക് ബ്ലോക്ക്
Thank you very much.